What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. And to begin with, let's go to the most active zone of the war, which is the east of Ukraine. Right now, Russian forces are concentrating the majority of their attacks north to the city of Slavyansk. And as you can see, in the last couple of days, Russians were able to advance next to the small town of Bogorodichne. And in addition to that, yesterday, Russians were able to capture this small city Mazanivka. As you might already know, one of the main targets of Russians in this area will be to capture the city of Slavyansk. And at this very moment, due to insufficient number of people as well as military equipment, the advancement of Russians is pretty slow. Recently, Russians also tried to advance against the small city of Dolina, but Ukrainians were able to resist this attack. And because recently Russia is relatively unsuccessful in this region, the only thing left for them to do is to do artillery strikes against the city of Slavyansk. Now let's go a little bit to the east of this region. Specifically what I'm talking about is the city of Seversk. Most likely at this very moment Russian army was able to capture the small town of Grigorievka, and the next city on the way of Russian army will be the small city of Serebranka. Capturing both of these cities will be essential for Russians in case they want to launch successful attacks against the city of Seversk. And as you can see at this very moment, the advancements of Russians in this region are pretty slow, and it is most likely because at this very moment they're just reallocating their forces next to the city of Izium. There are several reports saying that Russia is basically concentrating its majority of its firepower on this region so that they can launch successful attacks against the city of Slavyansk. Another city which has been under constant artillery strikes for the last several days was the city of Bakhmut. And the importance of this city for Russians, it is because it is located in the intersections of major highways, such as for example the highway M03, which connects the cities of Bakhmut and Slavyansk. Russians are actively bombing the city of Bakhmut in the hopes to disrupt the infrastructure of the city. And the end goal of these actions will be to obviously capture these highways. And now let's go a little bit to the south, to Donetsk region, and while I'm doing this, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you like this format of daily news reporting. Alright, so in this region, Ukrainian army is a little bit more successful. As you can see, in comparison to yesterday's report of July 10th, Ukrainian army was able to liberate the majority portion of the city of Novobakhmutovka. And going down a little bit to the south, we can see that more or less the same situation happened in the city of Vesele, where Ukrainians were able to liberate the majority of part of it. Another important location which was successfully liberated by Ukrainians is the city of Marinka. Now let's talk about successful attacks of Ukrainian army against the territories which are temporarily occupied by Russian army. It has been reported that Ukrainians were able to successfully destroy the military warehouse of Russians in the city of Shakhtersk. And potentially in response to that, Russian army was bombing the city of Chasiv Yar. And now, while I'm going to the south of the country, feel free to check my Discord if you want to talk with me personally about Ukrainian war or anything else you want. And by the way, we as a community donate money to Ukraine every single month, so if you want to be a part of this group donation, please make sure to check my Patreon. All the links can be found in the description. Alright, so the first good news comes from the city of Kherson, where it has been reported that Ukrainian forces were able to destroy one of the military bases of Russians. Another military base of Russians that was potentially destroyed by Ukrainians was located in the city of Tavriske, and it is said that the headquarters, military vehicles and equipments, antennas, radars, and obviously military personnel were demilitarized. Another big portion of military equipment of Russians was destroyed in the city of Novokakhovka, and specifically this destruction was thanks to high mobility artillery rocket systems called HIMARS, which once again confirms the fact that these HIMARS systems are extremely important to Ukrainians. The advisor to President of Ukraine Oleksii Reznikov also mentions that because of this extended range of artillery systems, Russian forces are getting further away from the occupied borders. And what he specifically means is that according to his own intelligence data, several Russian soldiers were spotted escaping from the city of Vasilievka, and they were relocating to the city of Mikhailovka. And now, potentially another indirect confirmation is that Ukrainians are getting ready to take back the south as soon as possible. So this statement basically came from the advisor to the mayor of Mariupol, Pyotr Andrushenko, who is urging the citizens to leave the city as soon as possible. He explains his statement by saying that the winter is coming, and because basically the entire city is in ruins, it will be close to impossible to restore the infrastructure before winter. But many people think that this infrastructure explanation is just the cover for the real reason, which is once again he's basically urging the residents of the city to evacuate as soon as possible so that Ukrainians will be free to use artillery strikes strikes while they're going to be liberating this city. And now a couple words about the northeast of the country, specifically the Kharkiv region. There are no significant advancements from neither Ukrainians nor Russians in this area, and both armies are just actively bombing each other almost every single day. And as a result of these bombings, one of schools in Kharkiv was destroyed because of Russian missiles. The response of the Russian army, why would they destroy a school? It is because they said that they had the intelligence that Ukrainians were hiding their military equipment. And in addition to that, the head of Kharkiv region, Oleksii Reznikov, confirmed that there are several artillery strikes against the city of Kharkiv. And finally, let's go outside of Ukrainian borders to the country of Belarus. There are several reports that very close to Ukrainian borders in Belarus, Russians are actively training and relocating some of its military equipment. Specifically, in the last couple of days, Russians relocated approximately 5 of its Il-76 planes, and there are paratroopers who were spotted training. And approximately last week, the Ministry of Defense of Belarus was claiming that the reason for these trainings it is because Belarus is getting ready to defend itself if necessary. Welcome to another episode of Ridiculous Russian Propaganda, and today we have the third episode of Kadyrov versus fake Zelensky. What is basically happening is that Zelensky was finally able to join the forces of Chechnya. Because if you've been watching last couple of episodes, this fake Zelensky was practically begging Ramzan Kadyrov to let him join his army. And in today's third episode, Ramzan Kadyrov finally allowed fake Zelensky to join his forces. But unfortunately for our poor Zelensky guy, he was only accepted to be the military target. And basically as a result, in the end of this video, the brave Chechen soldier starts shooting Zelensky. If you stayed this long into the video, please consider becoming my channel member. Thank you so much for your attention, check the links in the description, stay safe and see you tomorrow.